Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining in here. I am so excited that you decided to come to this webinar and do drop in the chat. Where are you coming in from? I will be recording this. Your faces or names will not be recorded. I just want to record the presentation so that those who signed up or have to leave halfway, you're not going to miss the whole thing. You will have a recording sent to you a little later in the day, probably by tomorrow morning. But thank you all for coming. And I want to make sure that I make it worth your time. You take some techniques that you can start applying to your day to starting tomorrow. And I want to hear back from you how it has been going. All right, we ready to start? Can I get a yes? Are we ready? Yes, yes, yes. All right. So let's get started with this. I will share my screen. I have a big presentation for you. I will go through some of the use cases of some of my clients and as well definitely get into the three techniques I promised. Hey, Amrita, thanks. Hi from Ohio. Oh, hi from Chicago. I think I saw Urvi saying she is from Florida. Awesome. I am in Pennsylvania. Hi, Nina from California. I am in Pennsylvania, very close to King of Prussia, if anybody knows, or close to Philly. So I'm like 50 minutes out from Philly. So that's where I am located. So with that said, let me share my screen so we can get into this fun presentation. I'm so excited to share this with you because this is my passion, as well as something I think that once you control the bloat when it comes to your perimenopause, menopause journey, you have won half the battle. It will help you eliminate so many of your symptoms that you experience in this phase of life. And it truly comes down to your nutrition. So, with that said, let's start off. So, you are in the right place if you have been trying to be disciplined in your diet. All right. You have tried to make sure you're eating well, you're exercising, but the number on the scale continues to rise. Have you had that experience? I have. You're constantly feeling bloated through the day. You're fed up constantly feeling exhausted. How many of us feel exhausted halfway through the day, or just in general, you're like, I don't have energy to deal with this, or you just can't think clearly anymore, or you're just having all these cravings, but haven't found a solution to help you get through it. You've been in these situations, you are in the right place. So I just want you to make sure that when you are here today, let's stay committed. Turn off your phone, put it on, do not disturb. That's what I'm doing, and no distractions. Let's focus. This is the time you set to be here. Let's do it. So if you have any kind of questions, pop it in the chat box. I'll answer it towards the end. So hold off the questions to the end. I would appreciate it. Now, who is this for? This is for someone who's struggling with bloating, constipation, belly fat, puffiness in your face, swelling in your hands and feet, feeling confused with what to eat, reduce bloating, wondering if you should do intermittent fasting or go carb-free diet or cut out a meal. So I hear this a lot. I do IF or I'm doing carb-free. Although you will see me talking about low carb in my content, but there's a reason behind it. It's not like eliminating carbs, it's like choosing what carbs. So I'll talk more about that towards that's the third point I'm going to cover in this presentation. So hang in there. Who is this not for? Well, if you have a chronic gut condition being treated by a doctor, you should definitely consult your healthcare professional because for you, your diet is going to be a little different. Foods you need to introduce. So definitely check in with your doctor. If you're not willing to make any changes to your nutrition and lifestyle habits, then maybe you should leave. Honestly, this is for somebody who is coming with an open mind, or if you're looking for a quick fix to lose the quick 10 pounds, this is not for you. All right. So I hope you all are in the right place and I am here to guide you through that. So the outcomes of this presentation is you're going to discover simple habits of meal times to dwindle that bloating feeling through the day. All right. And then simple bedtime routine shifts that will help you reduce inflammation. It's crazy how changing a bedtime routine can make such a difference in your inflammation. And then one simple post-meal tip to add to decrease your puffy feeling. Now, if you stay through the end, you will receive a link to download this free guide, and it has some recipes that you can get started with. You know, I love my recipes, and I'm going to give it to you if you just hang in there. All right, good. So, does this sound like you, that your joints constantly hurt? Your movement has reduced drastically, or you've started to see a difference in your joints, you know, that clicking noise, or you're finding difficulty getting up, or just doing simple tasks. Yes, that does happen as your inflammation increases. Or you suddenly see this shift in hormone and has left you bloated, gassy, frustrated, constipated, you know, with all kinds of gut issues that you never had before, even though you have not changed anything in your diet. All right. And now, at the end of the day, your energy feels so depleted that even the simplest task seems daunting and exhausting. So you don't know how you can continue, like even just helping your family out on your day-to-day basis feels like a big task. If this is you, give me a yes. Any of these symptoms sound familiar? I want to hear from you. So let me know. Now, as you know, you probably felt hot flashes already, or you're finding it difficulty to fall asleep, which means the next day you're not going to get up fresh and feel drained, right? Let alone thinking of getting a workout in, like that is just not going to happen the next day. Another thing you're probably also noticing that your anxiety is so much more higher now. These are signs of your hormones changing, unfortunately. But there is a solution to these problems, and truly it starts from the gut. So, besides that, it's disheartening when you see the scale going up, right? You are trying everything in your power. You are grabbing the tips from here and there on Instagram, TikTok, wherever. And you're trying to put it together, piece it together, and you're like, I cannot seem to get everything right. And, I think the biggest thing is we try to take on a lot of things. We try to take on a lot of things and try to fix everything in one shot, and it doesn't work that way, right? But just imagine, all right? Just sit there and imagine that you now have that energy, the energy that surges through you every single day. You're excited to be up. You have energy to do things you really want to do. It's not like somebody doesn't want to work out. It's not like somebody doesn't want to eat healthy. You just don't have the motivation, which we all call, or we just don't have that energy to really pull it through, right? So you no longer want to battle this rise and up and down of, your weight fluctuating or just the inability to move with ease like you used to before. You want to say goodbye to your bloating, your gassiness, or your digestive issues, but you really need somebody to guide you through how do I do this right, without reinventing this wheel or trying to like figure this out, but it's not working. Now, you want to radiate confidence as you move gracefully in your clothes, and you want to enjoy the freedom of doing outdoor activities with your kids. Some of you probably have kids who are still so much more younger, right? How many of you have kids who are younger?
Yes, I do.
Right? So you want that energy, you want to feel good. And all some of these symptoms start as early as perimenopause. I'll tell you, it started for me when I turned 40. I was feeling all these changes, and I did make changes to my lifestyle in order to feel energetic and have that rhythm, a system built in, but it still didn't help. And I'll get more into that. But let me just quickly touch upon one or two clients of mine, and I'll share this with you. Somebody asked, can we get the guide even if we can't stay till the end? Sure, I will send it out later. So I've changed the names of my clients for privacy, but I had a client named Pallavi, and she struggled with being constantly bloated. I think the biggest thing that got her to truly make a change in her lifestyle was her family couldn't recognize her after all the weight she had gained when she went to India. They just could not believe this was the same person. And now I know that can be disheartening, and we shouldn't use appearance as a way of telling us, but she herself knew that her lifestyle wasn't supporting her health, right? She had trouble sleeping through the night. Her knees would swell up, but now, with simple nutrition changes, she was able to now go for long walks. You know me, I talk a lot about just walk. Even if you can't get to a workout, walk. Movement is key. And learning how to control what she was eating versus just eating anything gave her that energy that now she can play with her kids, sleep through the night. And, she's somebody who works from home and has an IT job. So, he found ways and pockets of time to build that in. And this is the type of lifestyle changes we're talking about here. And eventually, she made it a lifestyle. So, hi, I am Preeti Gandhi. Just wanted to give a quick introduction. I am a PN1 nutritionist. I have coached for over 7.5 years now, actually, worked with women for who are like 30 plus years for weight loss and fat loss. And I do specialize in vegetarian vegan diet. And as I mentioned, I'm located in Exton, Pennsylvania. Now, what happened in that transition from perimenopause to menopause? And this is something I really want to talk about because it's something I don't think a lot of people understand how it can impact you. So you could be living a very healthy lifestyle. I know so many women out there who worked out forever, eat healthy forever, but suddenly your periods get irregular, or you experience certain symptoms that are very unique to everybody. Honestly, perimenopause, menopause symptoms are very unique to everybody. So there's no one system fits all. All right. So for me, my periods became irregular. I was constantly fatigued, depressed. I consulted my OBGYN literally every 3 months for like 2.5 years. They gave me birth control pills to delay my periods, but the problem didn't go away. So nothing seemed to work. I did not have that support from my doctor and literally felt isolated, abandoned. I went into depression, and, having my firstborn going to college didn't help either. So it was a big, big change. And a lot of women experience this alone. And I think there was a lot of shame attached to it because I felt like I was the only one going through it. Nobody out there was talking about the hardships of this transition. Everybody just keeps talking about, oh, do this, do that, but nobody talks about the hardships. And I really hesitated to accept this reality, but I knew I needed to change my lifestyle slowly, just not continue to do what I was doing. The things that I was doing in my early 40s were no longer working for me in my later 40s. So I decided I was going to make up a plan, follow it through, get certified in this nutrition, and learn the basic tools again. So there's no harm in relearning new habits and new ways of doing things, which led to understanding how I needed to focus on the different kinds of movements. I didn't have to work out crazy 6, 7 days. I actually had to cut down my workouts. I switched up the type of proteins I was putting in my food. And I talk a lot about proteins in my content. I had to learn how to basically understand how macros worked and how I had to change things. What were the carbs that I could eat and which ones I had to avoid? And practicing mindful eating habits. And the most important was tracking. If I didn't track, I would not see the changes. So fast forward to today, biggest difference I felt in this overall transformation that took a couple of months was my inflammation went low. That was the first thing I noticed was inflammation was low overall. My digestion had improved, no longer had diarrhea, which I had experienced for the longest time. My weight and body fat dropped. I mean, that's the first visual thing that everybody sees. But the true changes I was very happy about was my inflammation was low, which meant my gut was healthy. And that is the focus I like to get to with my clients. And I want you to also think about it. Like, how does your gut feel? What are the foods that are working for you? What are the foods that are not working for you? Keep track of it. And literally, your food, your gut determines your energy levels, your health conditions that you have. And unfortunately, if you don't take control of these situations, it will lead to bigger health issues. So, who has this helped? I'll just cover one more client and then we'll get into the details. Meet my client, Anu. She's a mom of 2 teenage kids. She's about my age. Actually, no, she's 38, not my age. I had another client who had covered. She's a regular CrossFitter. She was eating healthy. And what she noticed was the first thing she also noticed was her bloating went down the first month. Her bowel movements became regular. She experienced steady weight loss. And then she became aware of her food choices impacting her water retention. And the cool part was she went to India for 3 weeks. It was like a sudden trip, and she was so worried, like, I'm going to lose everything I learned. And I said, no, I gave her a few tips. I'm like, just do this. It's not going to be perfect, but you're going to keep doing it. In fact, she ended up losing weight versus gaining it when she was there just by making some mindset choices. She wasn't even tracking, but it was just like some simple tips I said, similar to what I'm going to share with you on what she did. All right, so I'm going to skip this and let's get to this. All right. So let us learn how to banish that menopause bloat, reinvent yourself, and fuel your journey. Literally, you can reinvent your body anytime. So the number one mistake a lot of us make is it's not about just what you're eating, but it's how you are eating. Did anyone ever think about this? That we are so focused on what we are eating, what we need to do, versus, hey, somebody said you can't hear me. My microphone is on. Hopefully, can everybody hear me? All right, perfect. Thank you. Okay, let's get to this. So, the first mistake you're doing is you just wolf down your food while catching up on messages on your phone. Like, how many of us sit at our desk and we're eating at our desk? We're not even thinking what we're eating. We're not even making that mind body connection. Or you're short on time, so you just gobble down your food. What happens when you gobble down your food? Do you tell your children to chew their food slowly? Or do you tell them to, like, oh, just eat it quickly and get off the table? No, but you do that, right? So you're in meetings and you barely have time to eat, so you quickly just shut down your meal. This is such a common practice I see. I even speak to my clients about this, and I always get this, I don't have time, my boss doesn't allow me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's impossible that in your 8 to 9 hour day, you cannot carve out 15 minutes for yourself. You have to. It's impossible. Even just by labor laws, it's impossible. I want you to think about this. When you are not chewing your food, you aren't using your saliva, which is given to you naturally to digest your food. What are you doing? Okay. You've given your body, not given your body time to connect or realize that you've eaten enough. Your gut suddenly has all this food to process and might not be able to absorb all the nutrients. Just think about that. You made this healthy meal for yourself, you chugged it down, you didn't even chew it, and now it's sitting in your gut. Your gut is having such a hard time processing it, and you know, with the changing hormones, it is anyways a slow process. You're just putting more pressure on your gut. And when you're putting more pressure on your gut is not going to digest it easily. It's just going to sit there. You end up feeling bloated, constipated, or it just like passes through your system without even absorbing the nutrients. Your body doesn't even recognize when you're hungry or when you're full because you haven't made that mind and gut connection when you're eating. You're just eating. So your body doesn't realize, am I full or not? Or you're probably eating more calories, even without realizing. How many of us sit with like a bag of chips sometimes watching TV and you're eating, you don't even realize how much you ate, right? If I was to ask you, hey, how much do you eat? You'd be like, I don't know, I've just been eating. This is such a common practice, and it's just our lifestyle that we have done. All right, so you get the point where I'm getting to. So I want to give you these 4 steps that you can do when you sit down to eat. All right. I want you to look at your calendar after this call and schedule that 15 minutes of your day with zero distraction and eat. Put your phone away, put it on do not disturb, not looking at the screen, just sitting, eating, listening to your thoughts, quietly eat your food. Drink about 10 to 16 ounces of water before you eat. All right. So your body has the water to help it digest. Put your spoon or fork down after every bite. So while you're chewing, while you've taken that first bite, put your food, spoon and fork down, maybe fold your hands, sit there, chew your food slowly, you know, taste the food in your mouth. A lot of us are not even tasting our food. All right. And when you are done with that one bite, go to your next bite and stop when you feel 80% full. Okay. You don't want to eat to the point where you're so full that you have no room in your gut. Give your gut some space, some air space, so it has that room to digest and churn your food. And just by doing these simple changes, your body is going to start your your bowel movements will get much better, and you will start seeing a difference in your fullness cues. You will not end up overeating, and you're going to feel full. I'll answer the question later. Thank you. All right, we good with this? Okay, so I'm hoping everybody is going to try that tomorrow or whenever you're going to eat your next meal. Just practice those simple techniques. All right. The next thing I want you to focus on is your sleep hygiene. What are you contributing? Do you know how your sleep is contributing to your weight loss or bloating? Yeah. So Night is the only time you get some downtime, right? How many of us, this is true, where we are either in the bed, but we're like, oh, let me just see what's happening on the Instagram. Oh, what's that funny reel? Oh, my friend sent me messages. Let me check it out. You decide to watch one more episode of a show. You're staying up longer, knowing you have to wake up early. How many of us know that if I woke up half an hour early in the morning, I could get so and so thing done? But you haven't set that intention the night before. In order to wake up that half an hour early, you have to actually go to bed an hour early. A lot of us are not doing that. Um, your sleep hygiene truly, is refers to practices and habits that promote good sleep quality. While it may not directly cause bloating in menopausal women, poor sleep hygiene can indirectly contribute to bloating with through various mechanisms, and I'll talk about that. So when your sleep patterns are disrupted, you have higher cortisol levels. Think about it. If you woke up next day tired, the stress levels are high. What is cortisol? It's just stress hormones. It is high. It leads to difficulty actually falling asleep or staying asleep. Yeah, your nighttime habits will affect your next night habits. Or you just, during your perimenopause, menopause, you are not able to sleep through the night. Why is that? Because you haven't given your brain permission to relax. You have kept it so activated that even when you are so tired and sleepy, it is going to wake up again because of the activity you've done. Our brains after a certain age cannot function the same way as it used to before. All right. So you really have to start building sleeping patterns just like how you would do for a newborn baby or toddler. All right. And when you don't get good sleep, you feel fatigued. When you feel fatigued, you cannot take action towards your health. Your gut actually doesn't even get rest. Did you know that? Your gut only rests when you are asleep. And when you are not sound asleep, your gut doesn't sleep. So it's constantly working. And a tired gut cannot digest food. All right. So you end up feeling bloated the next day. You wake up with water retention. And that's a very normal thing when you don't get enough sleep. And I know it's a challenge, but these are things you can do today to get a better night's sleep. And I really want you to look at this, lock it in your brain, and do this starting today. So, stick to a regular sleep routine, going to bed and waking up at the same time every day. That does not mean, hey, Preeti, I go to bed at 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. No, optimal sleep time is somewhere between 9 to 10 p.m. And that's how your circadian rhythm works. That's how our body technically functions best when we go to bed at this time and when we wake up close to sunrise. Okay, that's how our body functions optimally. Could be hard with little kids. I get it, but when your kids go to bed, I know it's your downtime, but shorten that downtime and focus on your sleep. That will be the best investment you can make for yourself on this journey. And when you sleep early, you're going to be able to wake up early enough and have energy. Just imagine waking up with energy versus waking up, dragging yourself out of bed, and counting on coffee or chai to wake you up. Limit your screen time to reduce that blue light exposure. Avoid heavy meals like caffeine or alcohol close to bedtime. Engage in moderate exercise uh, earlier in the day. So get your exercise done earlier in the day if possible. If you're somebody who does go to workout late in the day because time does not permit, that's all right. Just find ways to calm your body down. All right. I won't get into that, but there are ways to calm your body down. Spend time outdoors during the day to regulate your sleep wake cycles. So find a few minutes in the day where you can go out for a 10-15 minute walk, expose yourself to sunlight. That's how your body will build that rhythm of going to bed, waking up without any issue. Like having that cycle where, hey, you can wake up early in the morning without needing an alarm, that's technically where you want to take your body to. And a body who can do that has mastered that optimal sleep wake cycle. All right. We good so far? If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. I will get to it at the end. I just don't want to disrupt the flow of this. All right. Does this make sense? Yes. Give me a thumbs up. Yes. I'm going to try and do this. Tell me something. Yes, no? Great. See, it makes sense, but how many of us actually practice it, right? That's what it comes down to. And that's why having a coach who outlines these things and kind of like puts this on you and checks in on you every week makes a big difference. Now, the fun part, I'm sure you all were waiting for this, not having a plan, turning to a low carb diet, looking for that fancy diet that's going to help you lose weight and keep it off. So, if you're trying diets, just one thing I want to caveat here is when you are doing diets, that means you are trying to do it for a short period. Versus when you tell yourself, hey, I want to build a lifestyle, that means you're in for the long run. You're in to make habit changes that's going to take you far in this journey. Okay? You're not here to make those quick fixes. Yeah, those tips are great if you're already on that journey and you've solidified your habits. That's awesome. But if you don't have a plan and you're trying to work without a plan, it becomes very hard to manage. It becomes overwhelming. It becomes hard to sustain. And you will be looking for the next quick diet every single time. All right. So what happens when you go to like low calorie diets or you're looking for a carb free diet or you think you're eating healthy, um, but you're not seeing the changes, right? Why are we doing all that? Why do we put our body through all that? Because yes, I will share the recording later. Because you want to see changes. You want to see that scale moving, but it's not moving. And the reason why that is happening is uh, your body is under stress actually. In perimenopause, menopause, when our estrogen level drops, okay, that's what's happening to our body. Our estrogen drops, our progesterone drops. These are hormones that actually help distribute fat in our body. When that drops, guess what happens? Our body no longer knows how to distribute fat. It starts to accumulate fat. And that's why suddenly, in spite of no dietary changes, you see your body accumulating fat. And you're like, what happened? I haven't changed a single thing. What is happening? I was working out before, I was eating healthy. What is happening? The thing is, the way the macros are distributed for perimenopause, menopause has to change a little bit. Okay. And I won't get into too much details, but I'm going to share with you what simple things you can do today to start seeing that shift in your diet. So I want you to move away from the mindset of healthy. All right. Eating healthy is just like a cover statement for saying, I'm trying my best. Versus when you say, I am eating balanced, I know exactly what I'm doing, that is where that switch happens. So let me show you what that means. Healthy, I've heard this a million times. If somebody was to pay me $1 for every time they said I ate healthy, you know, I'd be a millionaire today. But this is what we're eating today. Dal chawal, roti, sabzi. The quantity of our dal and sabzi is so minimal, but the quantity of our rice or roti is much, much higher. Oh, or the other thing I hear a lot is I removed rice and roti from my diet. So I'm just eating dal and a salad. And sometimes I'll do tofu or I'll do a shake. There's no plan. There is just assumption that this is magically going to work. We don't know how much protein we're eating. We don't know how much carbs we're eating. We have no clue how much veggies we're eating. But as we progress, when I talk to people, I will ask you questions like, hey, how much veggies are you eating? Are you eating this consistently? It's not about perfection, it's about eating consistently. And most of the time, the answer is no. I don't. I find it hard. This is too much work. I have kids, I have a job, I have blah, 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 blah. I hear that all the time. And I get it. It is hard. If it was super easy, everybody would be doing it. But how do you make it easy? You make it easy when you have a plan, when you know exactly what you need to do versus scratching your head every single day. What am I supposed to eat? How do I do this? Oh, I'm just going to grab these recipes that Preeti shared, and I'm hopefully going to try it one day. Oh, I forget, I don't have the ingredients, so I'm not going to try it. How many of us have said that? How many of us has done that? I bet a lot of you have done that, where you save recipes, but you've never got around trying a lot of them. Because first, you need to make sure you have the ingredients. Second, you want to make sure you have the time to do it. And third, maybe you just lose motivation to do it, right? But if we were to build something so simple, like what I'm showing you here, like, yeah, you can have your dal chawal, but what if you added a sustainable protein? So that way you know you measured it or you understand how much protein you're getting in here and how much veggies you're getting on your plate. This is a way to think about I have balanced my plate. So my chances of actually seeing changes are higher when I eat like this versus if I do this once in a while. Imagine if you did this consistently, that bloat is going to drop. That scale is going to move. You're going to sleep better. You're going to have more energy. Your gut is going to thank you. The nighttime cravings are going to go. That sluggishness is going to go. And I could list all the symptoms you can think of in menopause. Anybody you go to, any doctor you go to, the first thing they will tell you is fix your nutrition and add movement. And when it comes to nutrition, this is what it is. Learning how to balance your meals. So when you don't eat balanced meals or when your body is going through these hormonal changes, what do you experience? You experience slow digestion, or it could lead to constipation, bloating, diarrhea in some people. You feel frustrated, right? You've done your IF, you've done your carb free, you've done everything, but then at night you feel like binging, right? You're like, oh, I didn't eat enough, so now I'm hungry again. Maybe I'll just eat this one or two cookie and it won't make a difference. Nobody's gonna know. You know, or you can't sleep through the night. That's what happens when you do diets. You won't be able to sleep through night. Your energy levels are so low that you kind of give up. And then you reward yourself with carbs on weekends. Like, oh, I'll do IF Monday to Friday, but then Saturday, Sunday, it's free for all. And then I'll restart again on Monday. Let that sink in for a minute. Yeah, this is the cycle a lot of us go through. We are just not ready to commit to ourselves. But if our kids were to do this, trust me, you would be on their case to fix this. But somehow for ourselves, it's too much work. We don't have time. Oh, I can't make extra protein. I want to eat what my family eats. Sure, you can eat the dal chawal. I didn't say you can't, but can you eat it like this? I bet you can. You just need to try. You need to try. The bloating is not magically going to go. And I'm just going to tell you, you don't address it now, it just gets worse. It just gets worse. And the symptoms that you haven't even imagined that could happen to you. I'm not here to scare you, but our lifestyle in general nowadays across the world does not support good health. So that's why have to build intentional habits to do it. So, what can you do instead? So, I'll give you a quick tip on what you can do for carbs. So, we need to pick wholesome carbs, all right? Wholesome carbs are your fruits, your grains that are whole grains, not your processed carbs that comes in packets with barcodes. Those are not the carbs you want to bring in. If you want to eat bread, you totally can. Get fresh baked like sourdough bread, all right? Versus the brown bread, which claims to be a whole wheat bread, but it really isn't. It's really just processed bread with color in it. Um, Pick high quality carbs in your food. You can bring quinoa, you can do dal and rice. If you don't like brown rice, it's fine, but try, try a mix of it. You want to do roti, absolutely do roti. Do a small roti, instead of a big gigantic one. You can do sabzi, but then add like Greek yogurt, an extra cup of veggies. Or if you're making vegetables for your family, make extra for yourself. You don't have to go out of the way. If you want to do dal rice, add like tempeh and salad. Or if you are somebody who eats non-veg, add some fish, add some chicken on the side. You have alternatives to build yourself a balanced meal. The question is being mindful and being present when you're making these choices. All right. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. I will address it at the end. How are we doing on time? All right, we've still got 20 minutes. So these are the three mistakes I covered that we need to avoid. Of course, there are many, many factors to beating the bloat, but these are like some three things you can start doing today. Going in with your nutrition with a plan. And if you're like, Preeti, I don't know how to even start, I would say start tracking it in an app like MyFitnessPal or Chronometer is another one I love. Track it in there. You will know how much you are eating. It will just blow your mind to see if you're eating enough or are you under eating. A lot of us also undereat, which makes us gain weight. I just had a conversation with a client last week who was under eating in spite of me giving her a plan like you need to eat so much. But even that mindset that we need to eat to lose weight is very hard for clients to understand. But that's my job as a coach is to coach them through that and give them corrective actions to uh, do this. So we just covered these techniques, and I'm not sure why you showed up today. Maybe you're frustrated, or maybe you're curious to know how do I actually beat this bloated feeling, or maybe you're just sick of dealing with eating less. You think you're eating enough, but you're not sure, or maybe you've heard others having success with eating meals that helps with cutting down bloating, or you're curious to see if you could get better. So I want you to really think about, and I want you to answer this for me. What would life be? What would be living a life without feeling bloated in your body change for you? What could it do for you? If you stop feeling bloated, how do you feel? Anybody, just answer in the chat. How would it feel for you? For me, it was my digestion improved. I was sleeping better. My energy was up. My brain fog reduced. And every day in the morning when I wake up and take those selfies, it's to remind myself, like, damn right, I worked on my body to reduce that inflammation so that I don't end up with joint aches. I don't end up with any other imbalances in my hormones besides the ones I was already going through. Awesome. I see energy level, energy, sleep well, less frustrated, confident. I hear you. Wouldn't it feel good? Like you could fit into your clothes without worrying if it's going to fit today or not? I was at that point. So the problem today is we have too much information out there. Yeah, it's very hard to figure out where to start. Life gets in the way. And where do you go if you get stuck, right? Where do we go? So what if I said you could have a simple step-by-step formula to solve your bloating issues once and for all. So you could have drop maybe one or two dress sizes and eating foods without fear of gaining weight. So this is the framework that I teach my clients. on banishing that inflammation and bloating and learning how to eat to lose that weight for good. And if you take away anything from this call today is I want you to know that you can enjoy fun foods. All right. I don't refer to them as a cheat or a treat because we are not animals. We are human beings. We want to enjoy our fun foods once in a while. Granted, I'm not going to say you can have a samosa every week, but there are occasions you can absolutely enjoy that. You can enjoy dessert. I love dessert on weekends. That's what I enjoy. But learn to eliminate foods that cause you inflammation and you recognizing your body and understanding, like, oh, this is actually going to make me bloated today. Or, oh, I ate like this outside, so I know this is going to happen to my body. And having that knowledge and just not giving up like carbs or continue to count calories forever. Like when I had a goal in mind where I wanted to shred for something, I counted calories. Now I don't count calories. I just focus on certain macro counts and that's it. So I want people to get to that point where you're not constantly scared of eating food. So, with that said, how can you apply this framework to your own situation and finally break free from this constant lose a few pounds, gain a few pounds, right? So you have three choices actually. And today I am going to share choice two, which I have not shared with anyone, but I wanted to share this with you guys. So the first choice is do it on your own. I've given you some techniques. You can try it out for a few weeks, see how you feel. But if you feel frustrated, you know you can always come to me and we can then set up a call and talk through it. So the choice two is do it yourself with my digital self-led reinvent course. Yes, guys, I am finally going to release a digital course which gives you the ability to get all the content that my clients get one-on-one coaching in, and you will have access to the whole program. And let me show you what the framework is. This is what the framework looks like. I cover everything from hormone health, what is happening to your hormones, giving you a mini lesson on it. So you understand the symptoms, what's happening from a fat perspective, what questions to ask your healthcare professional, all that good stuff covered in here. You'll have a module which covers the nutrition foundation. First, the basics. How does nutrition impact hormone health? You learn my 5-step method called the SWIFT method, which is something you do on repeat, just those 5 steps on a daily basis to help you get results. You learn meal planning, meal prepping basics in there, portion control basics. You'll get all the supplements that I provide to my clients as well in this course. I'm really excited to share with you because I know some of you just want to do it on your own, and this is going to help you with that. Part two, actually, will I get more into details with the anti-inflammatory diet, understanding what macros are, how you can modify your favorite recipes, grocery shopping list, all that good stuff. In fact, tomorrow I'm going to do a live presentation for my clients on the anti-inflammatory diet. So we're going to actually cover that tomorrow, one-on-one in a webinar just for my clients. So I'm excited about that. So they will actually get a preview of this course probably next week. So yeah, all my one-on-one clients will get access to this as well. Module 4 is to get into mindset stress management. All right, quality of sleep, mindset practices. I've created a template to help you build these habits. You've probably seen me on my stories. Big believer in this. When you control your mind and learn to manage your stress, all this falls into place. It is the whole mind-body connection along with nutrition and then lifestyle habits, overcoming plateaus, situations, supplements that I recommend. And at the end, you get to celebrate your wins. And you'll have access to it for a lifetime when you get that digital course. So as I said, this is it's designed to be a 12-week step-by-step framework. Some people can do it early. They just want to review everything and then start doing it on their own. But this will give you a good way of how you can do this on your own for 12 weeks. And actually, there will be no personal coaching. This is a misprint over here. But you will get videos with it and clear action steps to support you through this journey. Like I said, you get access to the 5 modules, Swift method, templates, anti-inflammatory guide tools, all this good stuff in your online course. You will learn the basics of gut health, of hormone health, what these are like the 8 steps you need to start taking in order to truly see a healthy, thriving gut. And when your gut is healthy, your bloating will start to dissipate. I won't get into too much detail with this. I will send this to you so you can review it as well. But this is the type of information my current clients get in my community. So this is one of the options that you can choose to do with me. The second option I recommend with me is obviously my one-on-one coaching. I love that when women commit to their health, you could buy the course. Yes, do it on your own. That would be great. But when you decide to do one-on-one coaching, you do get that program, but you also get a personalized nutrition plan for yourself. I will customize a meal plan for you the first week, and then you take that and run with it. You will get 3 live meal prep sessions with me once every month and personal check-ins and support. Every week, I will give you a personal video feedback on your progress, and we have 3 one-on-one check-ins as well in my online coaching, one-on-one. So testimonials from my clients, they have tried so many of programs out there. I've had moms of toddlers even join me after just having their babies because they just wanted to lose weight and learn to eat right. And, you know, bringing in these eating habits and this mindset of moving their body has given them the changes they want to see. So you can be one of them. This could be you. These are women I've worked with over the years, and they've always taken away something that they continue to do in their lives. So with that said, before I forget, let me drop this link for you in the chat where you can go download the freebie that I promised. I recommend you set up a call with me if you are interested in the one-on-one coaching. It's a 15-minute complimentary call I'm giving to anybody who joined today, and we can discuss strategies, guidance, and see if this is a plan that will work for you. One thing I've already done is I have added you to my wait list for my online class, online program that launches in about 2.5 weeks from now. So you'll be the first ones to know it, and you will get a special discount code if you decide to go ahead with it. And keep watching my space because I'll continue to share more and more information as we are ready to roll it out. I'm really excited. But yes, if you do want to come and have a call with me, please, by all means, schedule that call with me, and I will share the link with you as well in the email that will come with this recording. And we can schedule a call and discuss if this is a good fit for you. All right. So this is the download link I gave you. Go download it. This will give you a good guide on how to manage the bloat. I've shared more information in this guide, and you get to download it for free for being here today. Thank you for being here, ladies. And now, if you have any questions, you can pop it in the chat. I will stop recording this so your names don't show up.